Hey YouTube land, this is Tag Andrews doing more action figure reviews. Well, not quite figures, but more action figure accessories in the sense of a vehicle. And this is the Batman 66 Batboat. Now, as far as I'm aware, this didn't really turn up in the TV show itself. I think the only appearance it had was in that made-for-TV movie from that same series. But this is how it comes packaged. And it is in a similar style of packaging for all the Batman retro stuff. So it has, for similar to the Batcycle, where it's an open display, there's no plastic covering it. In fact, even the Batmobile was like this as well. And we will bring that in at some point in this review if I can fit it in here. But I'm going to take it out of the packaging because it is already removed. Now, when you do take it out of the packaging, just be aware the fin is folded down for storage for in packaging, and it's designed just to fold up. There's a little plastic piece that covers it, and it is taped down, so you will have to remove some of the tape. And we'll just have a quick look at the box before we have a look at the boat. So it does say Batboat on the thing. It has the Batman Classic TV logo. On the back of the box, you actually have an image of the Batboat in action as opposed to the actual figure or the actual toy. And it shows it's a clip from that actual movie. In fact, I think the actual people that are piloting the boat in this image are actually the stunt doubles. I don't think it was actually Adam West and Burt Ward actually were in the boat. I think they might have had stunt doubles for it because of the speed it had to go to. And then you have an image of the Batcave that's already released. And then just an image of the Batman, which is interesting because it's a prototype version of the Batman figure, because you can see if you look at the elbows on the arms, there is no articulation joints on it at all. And then on the back of the bottom of the box is just empty. So moving box aside, I'm going to bring in my tape measure before I do anything else, so I don't forget to measure this thing. It doesn't really have a flat base on it. And unfortunately, I can't test to see if it floats in water because I don't have anything with enough water in here to test it. But from it's a bow to stern, if that's the right terminology, it is about 15 inches. And then, depending on which you consider the highest point, would probably be tail fin. It's about 5. Yeah. And then width-wise, it is about 6 inches in width. So it is wide enough, it is kind of long enough, and it is pretty big. It is a fairly solid piece of plastic. I don't know if it would float. There is screw holes on the bottom, so that might compromise the integrity of the hull for flotation. But it does seem to be fairly sealed all around, except for like where the 2 points meet. So it could... I don't even think, I'm not sure if this thing is separate, so you could end up with water going in through here. It doesn't say anything about it floating on the box. In fact, let me just double check on the box to see if it says anything. It does not say anything on the box about being able to float or not. And I'm not sure if I want to test the theory on it, because there is stickers involved with this thing. So you get this sticker sheet as well. Just be careful when taking this off. There's actually tape that goes across the top of the stickers on some of them, so you have to be careful when removing it. And where these are placed is they go here at the front where this red is, and it goes all the way along. So there's the 2 stickers that fit here for the front part, and then these side ones are all one big long piece, so you just have to be careful when putting them on because you could misalign them. But other than that, there's very little sticker application. In fact, this has been the only Bat vehicle I believe to have sticker application. The Batcycle, neither the Batcycle or the Batmobile had it. I'm not sure why they didn't just paint the apps on like they did with the Batmobile. Maybe it was some sort of cost-cutting measure, I don't know. But it is a sticker. So there is not really much other than detail wise on this. There's a bat phone. There is, I believe it's supposed to be a radio. The inner control panel isn't really detailed that much. You have a grey section, a couple of black pieces for some detailing, and then you have a control stick. I'm assuming it's some sort of control stick. You also have the thing here. You have the light, You have the fin, you have the bat logo on the boat, and you have these flame effect, which is kind of nice on the side of the boat. And then you have paint applications for the cream here. It's not really a white, it's more of a cream. And then you got paint apps for the silver of these kind of vents and stuff on it. And then you have the same kind of clear canopy pieces that are on the Batmobile. And for figures, you can fit the McFarlane figure in here, no bother. He does fit in. Because of the soft goods cape, it's not as cumbersome as the old Mattel one, which had the wire in it. The bendy wire was a cool idea, don't get me wrong, but it just makes it that much harder for him to fit into vehicles. And in a sort of role reversal of the figures, or of the other vehicles, Robin actually sits on the left-hand side of the vehicle. If you want to, my right, your left kind of thing. And then Batman sits on the right-hand side. Because if I bring in the Batmobile quickly, you can see Batman sits on the left and Robin is on the right, depending on which way you're looking at the vehicle. So, like if you're looking at the vehicle from this way, Robin's on left, Batman on right. So it is interesting. The one downside about, and it's not the vehicle issue, well, I do think the vehicle is a teeny bit small on for the figure side, because in the display, or on the picture on the back of the box, these are actually way above the heads of the characters, so it actually gives them some protection from when they're flying in the water. Whereas if you look at these, Robin's would be okay, whereas Batman's going to get full force of airflow right in the face as he's bobbing along on his boat. So it would have been nicer if they could have either sat a little bit lower on the boat, or if they could have made these a little bit bigger. I'm not sure which would be the better option, but either way, it's quite a nice design. Out of the other vehicles that were showcased in that movie, I do hope we do get a Batcopter. So there was a Batboat, Batcopter, and, as I previously reviewed, the Batcycle. In fact, I think they went from the Batcycle onto the boat, and then when they got back on dry land, they got back into they actually got to the Batcopter, or they got onto the Batcycle and drove to the copter. I can't remember which. It's been quite a while since I've seen that, but you can see how the scale is. The Batcycle is quite smaller compared to the boat. The boat is really nicely done. Unfortunately, there is no display stand for it. I think it would have been nice if they could have included some sort of maybe stand so it doesn't flop. Like, it does just flops side to side. It doesn't have a flat hull, so it's going to flop to one side depending on which figures are in it. But we'll do a quick showcase if I can get everything in here. In fact, I'm going to put the Batmobile behind the boat and just move the boat to the front and center while I move everything around. So you got Batmobile. Now this is the McFarlane Batmobile, not the Mattel one. The Mattel one is much bigger and a little bit more in scale to what they should be. You got the Batboat, so I know you can't see it on screen here, but the Batboat is actually slightly smaller in length. But maybe it kind of gives an idea. You can see how it's a little bit smaller than the actual Batmobile. And then you have the Batcycle with sidecar. So you can have, let's see if we can get a little rest on it. It's not going to do it, is it? It's going to just flop all over the place. We got it sort of centered. So you got the Bat vehicles from the 66 so far, and I can see it's going to fall, so I better grab it before it does. All in all, really nice put together vehicle. And if you are so inclined, just check Batman loosely over here out of the way, and just move the back bike out of the way. So if you have other figures from different lines, you'll see if they fit in here. Destro from the Classified, or Pimp Daddy Destro from Classified, he does fit in it. He's a little bit big, and he is a little taller than the Batman figure, so he does fit if you want something like that. Then the only other 6-inch figure line I have close hand in his snedgery if he had made it to the boat. Well, not quite the same boat, but it just see if I fit him right in. You see, grab him. So if you wanted to repaint it, you could probably repaint it into another line vehicle. Like with a lot of modification and a lot of work, you could probably paint it into something that resembled the G.I. Joe Devilfish and have it as a 2-seater version instead of 1-seater. But overall, as the Batboat, it is quite nice. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoy this video review of the McFarlane 66 Batboat. I know everything is left in a higgledy-piggledy mess. I'll just throw the heroes of the show back into their boat. So all in all, it is nice, a nice boat if you can pick it up. I will put a link in the description to Heroes and Villains where I got this, and hopefully if the recordings go up at the same time or the right timing, the previously reviewed Wayne Manor set. But I have done a bunch of the McFarlane Batman 66 stuff, which I have mostly picked up from Jay over and the Heroes and Villains. So I will throw a link in the description to there. And if he doesn't have it in stock, you could always reach out to him and see if it's possible that he might be getting them in again. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review. And as always, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Cheers.